Well, welcome back to Doc's Hot Shop Forge. So, after completing the gussets, it's time to do the actual repair, right? Well, almost. After some thought and discussion with other smiths, I've opted to install a 50mm long by 12mm diameter dowel inside the broken leg. This will internally reinforce the broken area. Because it's mild steel inside wrought iron, it's actually going to be stronger than if it was solid wrought iron. So, this is what I'm actually planning on doing. So, if that's the broken off bit, the leg goes off this way, there'll be a 12mm dowel nestled inside the piece. I'll then forge weld on some gussets and some material on the outside, which I'll then blend in to minimize the amount of exposed forge welded material from the parent stock. So as much of the original fracture is gone, or not exposed to air, or the outside where stresses can start pulling that weld apart. So in a way, this should end up being far stronger than it was originally. So what of the gusset? Well, I've opted not to use it. So it's going to find its way into some other project at some point. It is good high carbon steel, so I'm not going to throw it away. And doing the square corner was good practice. Now for some bad news. As you'll notice during the video, there is some fogging. That fogging got progressively worse to the point where the footage was not usable. That means that the welding of the filler material to blend out the original fracture, the footage of that was not actually usable. The camera's gone out for repair, it's come back, we're talking on that camera, so I assume everything is fine now. So, let's get started. Okay, so we're freehanding a rather deep hole into wrought iron. Now we want to try and keep it as centered as we can. Okay, we need to go a bit further that way. We're looking for just on 16 millimeters, 16 and a half-ish, and we are right on that. Any minor misalignment we can correct once we're forging it. So it's not a huge thing, it's just a matter of minimizing the amount of work we have to do. We can probably get away with a lot less than the 10 inches in depth that I was. Alright, let's see, how deep are we? Okay, let's take it out, gotta break it. The dowel pin that I've made is 4 inches long, and this is just about an inch. So what we're going to do is we're going to halve the dowel pin, because that's what I've got. So we're going to halve that. We're freehanding this because I don't have a reliable way to hold this in the drill press. so that's 6mm to bottom. Let's do the 12. I believe that's all the way down. Close enough, and I don't think we've drifted too far off either. So that's very parallel. Reasonable. And very reasonable. Now for the other one. Okay. That's probably not ideal. Alright, that's full depth. Okay, so we've got a slight misalignment. It's how much? Nah, less than 2mm. Front to back, 1mm. Side to side, 1.5. So what I can do is get this really, really hot, give that a good whack to bring this into alignment, flux it, weld it, then lay this piece on and repeat the procedure. And then that should be way stronger. Actually, just welding this with that pin in the middle should end up way stronger because that's mild steel, which is stronger inherently than wrought iron anyway. Alright, let's start getting the fire ready and we'll have some lunch and then we'll do some forge welding. little bit of whiskers out. Inside corner, which is where this brake started in the first place. I built it out a little bit, and I just want to smooth that out to get a nicer transition and maybe get the kink out of the foot of the leg, as it were. Back on there. That out. Got that pretty straight. Just going to take that dog leg out and then we can drift it. It has to be 770 millimeters long. I'm going to verify that in a moment. Pivot to jaw. So let me just check that. So it's 710 from the pivot to the jaw. In a minute, once we've straightened it and tried to get it back down to thickness, I'll give it a measure and we'll see where we're at. But I suspect we're about 5 mil short. We also have to drift the pivot hole back to round because it's oblate at the moment. Okay, that's back to round. We've got too much of a bend. Okay. It'll need a bit of cleaning up. Woo. Okay, I think we can let it cool down. That's round. Right, well, barring a little bit of tidy up and fitting it into the tenon for the hinge, this repair is done. Hard to tell. I think I've got it pretty good. Alright, let's put tools away. Now that the mobile front jaw of the vise is back in one piece, it's time to start getting the other pieces ready for reassembly and making sure the front jaw fits correctly. I'm glad to note that I only gained 2 millimeters in the overall length of the jaw from the pivot to the top of the jaw face, though there is about 12 millimeters of left to right misalignment to be adjusted out during the fit up, which we'll do by selective grinding of the tongue and a little bit of bending of the leg if we need to. If you would like to provide financial support for the channel, I now have a Patreon. Any donation made will be just that, a donation. The content will always be free. The link to the Patreon account is in the video description down below. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up. Feel free to share on social media, and if you haven't already subscribed, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to ring the bell so you get notified when I upload videos. So get out to your shop, have fun, but do stay safe, and I'll catch you for the next one.